So, once again, welcome to everybody. We've been chatting for a couple of minutes and catching up on good old times. So it feels like it's been a long weekend. I didn't check in on Friday too much. Just kind of let our trades run, and then we had a nice long weekend, and here we are Monday again. So, welcome to everybody. Welcome to those that are watching, to those that are attending live, to just everybody. Okay, so a quick little thing to point out. As I said in my email, I consider this an achievement. I completely crashed my website to death. I mean, like murdered it. And actually, I didn't do that. It was all of your guys' faults, and I appreciate every bit of it. So thank you for doing that. I had so much traffic at the website, coming to the website over the last couple of days that. Yes, thank you, Mel. And sincerely, I mean it. Thank you, guys. It just means that there's good reasons to visit the website. There's reasons to come to it, and I love it. On and off over the last couple of months, we'd had a few little, the site not loading so well, wasn't handling the traffic super great. It was doing okay, but there was a lot of lag. So I moved servers, and that helped a little bit. And then I did this event last week, latter part of last week, Thursday night. And the first few hundred people that poured into the website just immediately crashed it, and then they just kept coming, and I had like a million emails. The site's down, everything's broken, and so something tripped something, and people were just pouring in, and it just went totally nuts. Hey, Gustavo, nice to see you. So I decided to take the opportunity to just strip the website. We had a lot of heavy data in there, things we didn't need. So we just stripped it down, and it's still under construction. There's things that need to be done, but it's a lighter version. It's much quicker, and it should be mostly functional. The whole front page needs a lot of TLC, so that's why it looks like this. But that'll be all fixed in the next, over the next day or so. We still have all the good old buttons, though. Here's home. If you want to get a free trial to the live trading group, just click on join right there, and you can see what your options are. We have a $37 a month option. We have a $79 a month option, and I would love to have you jump in the trading group with us for just a little bit. For those interested in one-on-one coaching, I've done quite a bit of that with quite a few of you, and I think it's been pretty great. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. There's a little button for some one-on-one coaching, and you can see all that. Monday webinar. Again, a lot of these buttons are going to be moved, but just so you guys can see this for right now. This will get you signed up for our Monday webinars, which are free, which is what we're doing right now. The blog is going to have a lot of things. I'm going to be sending out links for a while, so you guys don't have to really search around for a ton of this stuff. But you can see this is where I'll post the coming Monday webinar and so on. So we've got all of that. Log in if you're a member. You just go right here and you can get all logged into the website and see all the member content because we got a lot of it. And then, of course, you can just contact for any problems, questions. There's a lot of things we're working on. We'll get it all up there and running. It'll be a few more days to get everything finalized. But the website is totally functional. It's just not super pretty right this moment. But we're getting there. We are getting there. So hang in there. And again, we'd love to have you get a free trial and join us this week so you can see a little bit more in depth of the kind of trading that we do and how we manage this whole thing. Okay. I'm just going to suffice to say we have a lot of news this week, but nothing that is too incredibly crazy. We're going to see some pound dollar activity. That's safe to say. We have the bank rate vote coming on Wednesday. We've got the FOMC meeting minutes for the U.S. coming on Wednesday. We have retail sales for the U.K. coming on Thursday. And then we've got just a lot of stuff in between. So nothing that should be major crazy movers, but we've got some stuff that will keep the markets going and keep things from getting too boring. So it should be a decent week of news. Nothing too crazy, but it's not too quiet either, which is really excellent. Yes, we've got quite a bit of Chinese news as well. You can see that on here. Particularly, we've got some manufacturing PMI numbers and so on. So we've got some stuff coming up. Okay, so next thing we want to look at. Let's just have a peek at what we have coming up. Some things that I'm looking at now. I am, as of current, a pretty big dollar bull. I'm a dollar bull right now, and I think the U.S. dollar is going to rally more over the longer term. But I'm fighting myself because I'm looking at these charts and I'm just seeing so many early signs of a bit of a pullback, a bit of a correction, and you can see. I swear, that would be a total lie. I copied and pasted this several times. You can see falling wedge, possible head and shoulders, falling wedge, rising wedge, possible head and shoulders, falling wedge, bull flag, rising wedge. So we're getting some early signals of possible dollar reversals. I'm not looking for the dollar to just start selling off like crazy and for all these pairs to start rallying like crazy, but I think we could see some corrections coming, and so all we can do is watch, and when the setups are there, they're there, and we take them. It's that simple. It's that simple, and our indicator is going to be a huge and also huge help with that. So let's start on just a quick look at euro dollar. We have a falling wedge and a possible head and shoulders pattern. If we look at the euro dollar, here's a 1 hour chart, total chop. It ran up like crazy on Friday, 175 pips, and then top of Sunday it just dropped 135 pips, and it's just going a whole bunch of nowhere. But when we start looking at a slightly bigger picture, we can see a little bit more. Here is the euro dollar on the daily chart. Now, this is a major price rejection candle right here. Huge price rejection, and this could easily continue down through some of these levels. I'm ultimately looking for the euro dollar to at least reach 120 and probably below. But I'm just gonna be open to this. I'm not really gung-ho about this happening at this moment, but I'm gonna be open to the fact that this is the first part of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So shoulder, head. Is there a shoulder somewhere up here coming? Maybe. And so we've kind of got all of that in the works. We've also got a falling wedge right here. Nice little trend line that's been tested a couple of times. Nice trend line right here has been tested. So falling wedge in the first half of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. I look at that and I just have to think, it may not happen, and I don't know what world I want to be long euro dollar, but I look at this and I think we've got to be ready for something like this, and we would probably want to be ready for either a bounce or a break above, about 100 pips above current market price to start being long in this. We have so many missed pivots and so many missed targets on this euro dollar that it's definitely conceivable that it could start to get pretty long above about 125.50 area, somewhere around there, even a little bit less. So in the next 100 pips, we could start looking for opportunities to get long euro dollar. We've got a bit of a setup on the daily chart. 436 pips, not massive, 20% probability. It's getting there. But the 4 hour chart is also, starting to give us that signal that it's time to start thinking about looking for longs. So that's what I'm going to just keep an eye out on. Otherwise, we'll look for breaks of lows and we'll just trade the momentum. We'll just keep trading it if that's what's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. I'm super okay with that. We'll look for some trend lines. I don't have any immediate sell entries that I'm excited about, but I will keep my eye out for them, and we'll probably have one or two as the week goes on. But I'm definitely going to be aware that there's a falling wedge and a possible inverted head and shoulders pattern on the euro dollar. So let's be ready for that. And again, the indicator is telling us some good stuff. Okay, pound dollar has kind of the same thing. Again, sorry to sound like a broken record here, but here we go on pound dollar. Falling wedge, possible head and shoulders. And this is on the daily chart, and this is an even better looking falling wedge. This thing has been running down nicely. Good falling wedge. Here's a possible shoulder. There's a possible head. If that holds by any means, there's a decent hammer on the daily chart, then we could start to see some runs up. We have a whole cluster of missed craziness right here at about 160.50, and that's a long ways up at this point, by the way. That's way up there, 400 pips. I think we have a very good chance of at least getting up back up to 160 pretty soon. And honestly, I think we have an even better chance, not even better, because this would obviously be the easiest probability here, but I think we have a really good chance of also getting up to 163. Now, above 163, I don't know what kind of, natural occurrence would have to take place to really get the pound dollar rallying above that, but I think we could see some corrections up to 160 and potentially to 163, but at least 160 is on my radar, and it looks like a decent target. if we don't get the rest of a setup to get long on this, we don't have, the indicator's not telling us anything right now, so that means we still have trend we can work with, and our trend at this moment is down. And so remember, the lack of indicator saying, buy or sell means that we just by default go with the trend. And so the trend, once again here, you can see the last couple of months is definitely down, and we'll just follow the trend. We'll trade the breaks of lows. We'll just go from there. It's just that simple, no problem. So that's what I'm looking for on pound dollar. Just to repeat myself once again, Aussie dollar, same thing, falling wedge, yada yada. I again have no confidence in getting long Aussie dollar, but I can't ignore the setup. And Adrian, yeah, I like that. Buy 155, sell 164. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Aussie dollar has the same kind of situation. Here's a shoulder, there's a possible head, and it has bounced off that pretty well. It's already breaking out of this falling wedge right here, but not with a lot of conviction. It's dropped down quite a bit again. But I think we could see something like that happening. And just like all the rest of these pairs, if it's not able to get back up above about 8,800, which is what we would need to see to really see this thing get long and start running into some of these missed targets up here of 89.50 and 90 and so on, then we'll just look for this guy right here. We have a nice channel and we can trade the break of that and just ride this Aussie right back down. Yes, yeah, and that's a very good point. Chinese numbers can definitely have an impact on the Australian dollar. So that's for sure. So that's what I'm looking for on Aussie dollar. Another one that I think is pretty interesting is the dollar CAD. Rising wedge, possible head and shoulders pattern. Now we've looked at a bunch of falling wedges, and again, I'm not saying by any means that I'm excited at all about being short dollar CAD, but I can't ignore the signs. And so that's kind of where we're looking. Here's a weekly chart, possible big shoulder, possible big head, long wicks right there. Absence of the candle, of the indicator means go with the trend, and the trend is up. So we're going to just continue trading this up, but we're going to be aware that there's potentially a head and shoulders pattern in the works. And if that's the case, we're going to be looking for some pretty fantastic opportunities to continue shorting, or to short, dollar CAD. Otherwise, we're just going to buy dips and trade this thing on up and follow that trend, because again, absence of indicator means that we're not extended enough on 200 moving average setups to really start looking for that reversal. Okay, gold. We have a nice little trade on gold. This thing is going crazy. But what do we have on gold? Falling wedge, bull flag. And this is a serious bull flag, by the way. For some reason, I left out the Aussie New Zealand, but I do like this Aussie New Zealand quite a bit. I'm not doing anything on it yet, but it's in a big channel, and we're going to see how it behaves down in the low 10900s. If it can hold any of this by any chance, I would love to get long. Otherwise, this could make a significant move down, and we'll look for opportunities to continue selling that Aussie New Zealand. But overall, remember, I'm really excited about buying Aussie New Zealand and trading it up for the long haul. But this is, definitely making a nice little comeback right here. And so it could continue down a bit more. That's a pretty intense triple top that we have there. But we've kind of got, some pretty heavy support down here around 109.25, 30 area as well. So it's in a box still, but I like the Aussie New Zealand. I think it's going to be great, but nothing just yet that I want to be in. Okay, so gold. Here's what we have on gold. Good point. Yeah, both of you guys, Kevin, and yeah, New Zealand news. Could help that bullish bias. Yep, absolutely, definitely. So we're going to keep an eye on all of that, and we'll just kind of trade these. Today's a little bit more of kind of a longer term look, because right now they're probably the only one that I want to get into like in the next couple of hours is gold. I want to get into some more gold, but a lot of these currency pairs have pretty big setups that we're going to really look for some long haul kind of movements, which I'm really excited about. But gold, look what gold's doing. So gold has been all over the place. The big level that I was really just watching closely was this 1180, 1182, right around there. And gold broke that level, but not with a lot of conviction. It had this big push down, broke, It trickled down a little bit. We ended up moving down about 500 pips below that, about $50. And then it just turned around and came back up. And it seemed like every time gold made this move down, it would make a move down and spike up. And then it would come back down and then spike up. And it looks like gold is kind of not really reacting negatively anymore. It's much more positive. And so once again, we have a falling wedge on gold and a very, very convincing early head and shoulders pattern. Head, shoulder, and if this can make a bit of a move up, then we could get another another shoulder in there and have a fantastic huge move, and we could see big bucks on that. Gold, I'm definitely looking for gold to kind of tip out the lows here. And I think that gold is getting very, very near some pretty major support. My big level on gold is the 50% fib. If you look at that, that's about $1,088, and that goes just from the low of the last 20 years to the high. And so I was looking for that kind of a move to happen, but you can see that our monthly chart is giving us a pretty nice little hammer there, and it just looks like gold might not want to head any lower for the immediate. So that's where I'm kind of just keeping an eye on opportunities to possibly buy gold instead of sell it. Now we've got some positions. We've got a hedge position on gold for those in the trading group right now. And it's just kind of sitting here, and it's just kind of hanging out. This is what we call, by no uncertain terms, a very, very textbook bull flag. So gold has run straight up here, $47. I mean, give me a break. That thing just headed straight up, and then it's just consolidated absolutely perfectly. So in a worst case scenario, we probably want to be long gold about 1193, maybe 1194, and just ride this thing on up. That's going to put us, near the 200 moving average in some of these pivots, but I think if it breaks that bull flag, it's just going to go for it. We have a lot of missed targets up here. You can see a lot of missed targets up here. I don't know if I see gold running up like $100, but I think there's definitely some possibility, and with this kind of a pattern in the works, I think we need to be adding some long positions onto gold. So I'm going to be doing that, and we'll be covering that in the trade group this coming during this week. So anybody that wants to trade gold with us, again, go get a free trial and jump in. And we've had some really good gold trades. We've made some good money on gold, and I think we're going to just continue doing that. So gold looks really, really good, and I'm really excited about that. So for the moment, we're going to be long above about 1193, 1194, and we're just going to ride this thing up. If it continues to break down, that'll be good for our existing position, and we can start working on that hedge and so on. But I'll have more details for group members. But safe to say, on your buy hedge on gold, move your stops to break even. That's really all you need to do right now. So if gold dips down and makes a run down, then we're in good shape there. But this is such a textbook bull flag. I just can't really see gold doing anything but heading at least a little bit higher. So we're going to look to trade that, and for those of us that are already in gold, we're going to add to our positions above that area. So just be ready for that. So gold's looking great for that. Just a quick little, reminder on some of these. We've got a bunch of setups, New Zealand dollar, same thing. Looks like it might be working on a bit of a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. It's just broken a huge long-term trend line. It's above the 23% fib just a little bit, so we could get that move up into the 38 we've been looking for, which is 8100 to around 8150. So I think there's a couple hundred pips in New Zealand dollar there, so let's be ready for that. That one looks really, really good. But just a quick little look, we have all these yen pairs. Pound yen is kind of running up and all over the place. We're still watching this 180-100, a break below that on pound yen should make a move. Dollar yen, same kind of situation. Dollar yen's got a huge rising wedge, perfect rising wedge, and we've got a great setup on the indicator right there. 1 hour chart. The 4 hour chart is not huge percentages, but it's setting up. The daily chart, low percentages, but also setting up. 1 hour chart, great numbers, great percentages, great everything. And so, again, if we start to see any kind of dollar correction where the dollar's just pulling back, it's taking a breath, it's taking it easy, then we're going to jump on that like crazy, because we have some excellent setups that could give us some nice dollar corrections, and give us some opportunity to trade a little bit of dollar weakness while it just corrects. And then any kind of dollar weakness, we're gonna buy those dips. So for example, we're gonna sell rallies on euro dollar, sell rallies on pound dollar, sell rallies on Aussie dollar, all of those, because we have some really, really great setups there. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, exactly, Adrian. And yep. We're looking for 120 on dollar yen could be a very, very major reality, and that's not even that far away. That's a couple hundred pips away. So 120 is coming, and even potentially higher. But again, it can't run forever, and we can find some great opportunities to trade those corrections, which then lead into setups where we can buy dips, and that's absolutely what I want to do on yen pairs. Any dips, I want to buy the heck out of those dips and trade those prices higher. So that's what we're looking for. This is kind of a big weekly overview. Once again, we're going to have a lot more specific trades coming over the next couple of days with some specific entries. But for the moment, that's kind of what I'm going to be watching. So again, we're going to follow the trend unless these other setups start giving us the move that we're looking for. And again, that's euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, dollar CAD, gold, dollar yen. These are all heavy on the radar, and they all have some really, really great setups. And so I'm pretty excited about getting into those. But again, we'll have some more specific setups and so on coming in the next day or so for members in the notes area. So really, really good stuff. Okay, I want to hear you guys' questions, comments. Did I miss anything? Are there any pairs that you wanted me to talk about that I did not talk about? Let me know. George, yes, this recording will be posted and sent out. I'll send it out to everybody. I'll send it out on Twitter. I'll send it in email as well. Make sure you're on the email list so you can get all of these recordings and so on. So let me get this recording posted, and let's take let me just get it formatting, and let's take some questions.